Hey everybody, welcome back. We are working on a design team project for Country Craft Creations, and it is a folio using Graphic45 Kaleidoscope. And when we left off last time, we had just made this flap with pockets on the front and the back, but we didn't put the flap that we're going to put on the back here. Okay, so we're going to do that first, and then we're going to do the pages that go on these little bindings that we made. So let's go ahead and just flip that over. This is so big. Hope you can see everything. Okay, so let's do this. Whoop. Very easy. So you're going to need a piece of your black cardstock, 9 inches long by 5.5 inches wide. And after I cut mine 5.5, I put it back in the cutter and I just trimmed a tiny bit off, just this little piece, just so that it wouldn't interfere here. Okay, then you're going to score one of the short ends at 1/2 inch, fold it over, and then I rounded with my 1/4 inch rounder the 2 bottom corners, so that's going to go here like this. Okay, very easy. So turn it around. So you know what, I have a few things. Let me move these things here that are in the way. Okay, all right, so this is the top, and this is going to go right here. Okay. And go ahead, and you can use, oh, you know what, I'm gonna trim those corners. You could use score tape if you prefer. And I'm just trimming these little corners. And I am using art glitter glue. It does not want to go. That looks like way more glue than I needed. Pin back in. All right. And I'm going to line this up even with this outer edge. And of course across the top. Okay. And there's that. Now, before we forget, let's put the magnet. Okay, that's one. You gotta keep them away from the other magnets so they don't stick. There you go. All right. Now we have to be careful because we don't want this magnet to end up where it's gonna be right on, you know, right where the cut of the pocket is. There's not a lot of leeway here, but I think, now see, there's a magnet right under there. What is that sticking to? Oh, that was sticking to the one on the cover, so that's all right. But I think if we put it right about there, I'll still be able to mat it, and that's gonna be tight there. I wonder if I should put it up higher. I'll just center it here, and then it'll be fairly high here, but I think that's gonna be okay. So let's do it that way. But we need to make sure it doesn't interfere with that one. So I'm going to put it pretty far down here because it's going to get hidden under the mat anyway. I hope that makes sense. I'll show you. Now we could even, I'm just thinking we could even tuck it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tuck it sort of half underneath this, where it will be hidden. Like right there. Okay, and again, that's gonna get hidden by a mat, so it'll be all right. Grab a Okay, and let's grab the other magnet. No, I don't want it. It's trying to stick to the one on the cover. That's the one we want. Okay. There. Yep, that's good. And then I'm just going to put a little piece of tape. I don't know if you can see, but I'll show you in a minute. I just put a little piece of tape over that upper magnet to keep it in place. See? All right, and then I think I'll just tuck this little scrap in there. Good. All right. Now, we have these two pages that we need to make. For this, you're going to need, I've already got this one cut out. You're going to need a piece that is 12 inches by 12 inches by 10 1/4, I think. No. 12 inches by 10 3/4. So 12 inches by 10 3/4. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one to size. Okay, well, I just took a break because I was checking my iPad because I was getting close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. And I don't know if you could see it on my iPad, but look, 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much. I'm so excited about that. I'll do a video with a giveaway. Okay. All right, let's keep going with this. And let's grab our scoreboard. So go ahead and place your 12-inch side in your scoreboard and score it at 6 inches. Okay. Then place the 10 3/4 side and score at 1/2 inch. And then rotate it and score it at 1/2 inch again. Just like that. Okay. And now, what you need to do, let me get bigger scissors, is on each side, okay, so here's our 6-inch line that we scored, and here's the 1/2 inch. So you have 4 little quadrants here on the outside, and you're going to cut off this one and this one. All right. Now it doesn't really matter which two, but those are the two I'm cutting off. So, and you can do this if you're good with your paper trimmer. You could use your paper trimmer. I am never good with partial cuts in my paper trimmer. I always end up overcutting it, and then I have a problem, or I undercut it. Okay, so now that side looks like that. Now we have a piece that looks like that. And we want to, I didn't do very well with that, did I? Hang on, let's just see if we can straighten that edge up a little bit. There we go. And now we want to trim. Let me do that right these at an angle. Fix that one that I didn't do very well. Okay, and do this one. And this one. There. Okay, now. Okay, so now we're going to fold it in half on the 6-inch line that we scored. I think you can see where this is going. Okay. And we want to fold our tabs to the inside. And then we're going to put glue on the tabs, fold it over. This will be the opening that goes on the spine. Now, what you can do if you want, and I don't think I'm going to, but you could if you wanted. You could cut very thinly along here on your trimmer, and that would give you a side opening if you wanted to have a side open pocket. And I still might do that. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and glue them. And if you want, you could even wait. Hang on, where's the book? Get these things out of the way. There, okay. So you could glue maybe one end or even neither end and place it this way, place it on there and then glue it. But that strikes me as perhaps more difficult, so I'm going to just do it the usual way. And I'm going to glue this together first. And then we're going to add it to the book. Hang on. I just want to put my scissors in here. Yes. Okay. I am going to trim those corners as well. And you could leave the tab, like both of these tabs, and cut both of these off, whichever you prefer. I don't know why I did it the way I did it, but that's how I did it. Okay. If you want to, just put this in your paper trimmer and just trim a thin slice off and you'll have a side pocket opening. And I already trimmed that one, I think. Yeah, I'll decide at the last minute if I'm going to do that. Book, and I'm not going to cut those. I'm just going to leave. I have got to get my scissors and get rid of whatever that is, even though I know it's going to be hidden. It's driving me crazy. Okay. So these just slide right on these tabs, just like that. Okay. And we may add some extra flaps, but for now that's what we're doing. And I'm going to use score tape for this. Let's see, I've got a little bit of 3/8 left, so I think I'll use that. I don't know if I have enough to do all of this, but I keep forgetting to order it every time I place an order. I've mentioned before that I know a lot of people just tear their score tape, but I am just incapable of neatly tearing score tape. I do not know how Ginger does it. It's like magic, but for me, when I try to do it, it just stretches and it's a mess. So I use scissors. I don't know if you can see. I'm doing the other tab. And I just ran out of this 3/8. Okay, so I'm switching to quarter, which will be just fine. I just realized I don't have the pin in my glue. Okay. All right, so now let's start with this one. And I'm just going to take the backing of the tape off of one side. I'm going to slide this page on, and we're not going to go all the way down. You want to leave about 1/16 of an inch. Hitting something in the middle, and I don't know what. Let's try it again. Okay, there we go. And center it top to bottom, and press it gently. Okay, and you want to tip it over, and reach in there with something. If you don't have a pokey tool like this, just a toothpick or something will do. Just be careful not to poke through the paper. And press. There we go. Now we have a page. And I'm just going to turn it around to do the other side. Okay. And okay. Same thing. Slide this over. Center it from top to bottom. Don't go all the way down. Press it gently. Turn it over. Okay. And these will overlap, as you can see. And okay, so now when we open our book, we have this flap and this flap. They're going to be waterfalls here. And we'll decide what we're going to put here, possibly, I don't know, we'll decide something here. And then we have our flip pocket flap thing here. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, let's pause while I cut out a few more things and we decide on the next step. And I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and I've decided what I want to do with these flaps, at least on the front. We're definitely doing waterfalls on the back. We're kind of doing a modified sort of waterfall on the front, but we're also doing a couple of little pockets. So let's do those first. I'll get the book out of the way for now. Okay, so you need two pieces that are 6 7/8 by 3 1/4. You need two of those. And your scoreboard. All right. And we're gonna put the long edge across the top. One of these days I'll figure out how to score so you can see it. And score it 1/2 inch. Rotate 90 degrees. And score again at 1/2 inch. And one more time. So you're scoring both of the short edges and one long edge at 1/2 inch. Trim the corners. Here for the book. And all right, so on the front of each of these at the bottom, we're going to put one of these little pockets. And I'm just checking for fit. It should be slightly narrow based on the measurements that I gave you. That's what I wanted, and it is. Okay, so we're fine. Stick that off to the side for a moment. Our 2 pockets, and I'm gonna go ahead and I put the pin in, and yet every time I walk away from the glue bottle it gets clogged up. Whoops. Okay, so I wasn't getting any glue, now I'm getting way too much. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and glue this in. I am so not used to working with a book as big as this. I don't think I've made some big ones, which you'll see in my new series that I'm going to start soon. Where I'm going to do more flip throughs, and I don't think I've ever made one this big. Glue this right at the bottom. You want to line it up with the bottom. And as I said, this is a little narrow,
So you want to go more to this outside, and you're going to have a space here, but that's all right. I'd rather have that than have it catching every time you try to open the book. Okay. All right, so that's going like that. I believe that's good. And let's see, where's our other one? There it is. And that one's going to go here on the outside of this one. Okay. Okay, here we go. So then what we're going to do, and I'm doing the same on each side, is we're going to do a series of flaps. Not a waterfall. Well, I guess it is a waterfall, but not what you think of, I think, as a waterfall, because they're going to be large flaps with a fair bit of space between them. I think I'm going to do two. Yeah, I think I'm going to do two flaps. And then there's going to be a tag that's going to go in the pocket, and that's going to hold those flaps closed. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the measurements for the flaps. Oh, jeepers. I hope that wasn't too loud in your ears. Picked up my metal ruler and hit my metal light. Okay. So let's see. So we don't want to hit the pocket. We need to be above the pocket. So I'm thinking the first flap, the bottom flap, and these are going to, unlike a waterfall where they sort of step down, I think I'm just going to do both of these from the top, and I'm just going to have one longer than the other is all. Maybe, or I might do a waterfall style. In any case, I want this to end up at about 6.5 inches. So it needs to be 7 inches long by 5 7/8 wide. Okay, so that one's going to end up here, and I think I want the second one to end up about here. So that needs to be 5.5. So I need my pencil because I won't remember it 2 minutes from now. So I need 5 7/8 wide, and I need the first one to be cut 7 inches, and the second one to be 5.5. And you're going to need 2 of each of these because they're going on either side. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. So, if that was too vague, you need 2 pieces 5 7/8 by 7 and 2 pieces 5 7/8 by 5.5. scoreboard. And we're going to put the long edge across the top and score at 1/2 inch to make the flap. Whoops. And what I think I'm going to do, because my paper trimmer, as I've mentioned before, has trouble with measurements around the 6-inch mark, is I'm going to pair these. Oh, did I score them wrong? Oh, I did. Okay, well, most of that's going to be covered by matting anyway, so it'll be all right. Back. Starting to say, I realized I had scored the wrong side, is that I wanted to pair these up and make sure they're the same width. And you can see this one's not, because my paper trimmer does not like to trim right about this measurement. So what I'm going to do is put them back in the paper trimmer and just trim each so that they're the same. Trying to decide if I just want to stack these or waterfall them. Stacking would mean putting them one on top of the other like this. Waterfalling would stagger them. And if I am going to stagger them, I'm probably going to need to trim that one. I think I'm probably just going to stack them. Let's see. That's going to be the longer one. And as you can see, it's in slightly from either edge, and that's kind of on purpose. You can make it a little wider if you prefer. I can do it that way. If I'm going to do it sort of waterfall style, then this one needs to be trimmed down by about 1/2 inch or more. Let's see. Kind of like that way. Okay, so I'm going to take 1/2 inch off of this. So you're going to end up cutting this 6.5 instead of 7. So now I'm going to turn it around, just to make it easier. And I'm going to use my 1/4 inch corner rounder. I'm doing this over here off camera just so I don't get the parts I'm trimming off on the book. All right, so I'm gonna put the short one down, short one down first, and then the second one. Oops, hang on. Okay, just trimming my corners. That one. Again, this is slightly narrower than the base it's going on. But you want it to be, line it up pretty much with your pocket, which is about the same. So you can have a little bit extra showing here and a little bit more here. Okay. All right, now we're going to put this one down just right up against it. And actually, I probably should not have trimmed those corners. It would have been easier to line everything up if I hadn't. So I won't on the other one. Before you press that down, check and make sure these two are lined up well. And there we go. Okay, there. And then we're not going to use a magnet because we're going to put a tag. Let me see what I have. I'm just going to grab a scrap. So this is not the actual one, but so something will go in there and that'll hold those two flaps down. Okay? All right, so then let's go over to this side. And let's start with the short one. And this time I'm not trimming my corners. Second one. Might be a hair crooked, but not enough to be a problem. Okay, there we go. So then we have that, and again, there'll be a tag in that pocket. Like that, I like that. Okay, so let's close it, turn around. I think we're at a good stopping point. So next time we'll finish adding our elements, the two waterfalls, and then what we're going to do in the right in the middle, and then the inside front cover, and maybe something on the back. So we still have a little bit to go before we start with the matting. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do next time. So thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can get all the supplies for this book at Country Craft Creations, and I'll have a link down below. And I will see you next time. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Comment down below if you feel like it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.